Hi guys, it's me, Miss Becca, and today we are going to be making cat toys. And so if you have cats at home, you can keep the cat toys and give it to them. But we're also donating cat toys to the KC Pet Project in Kansas City. If you guys know what it is, it's a really great program. It's a place where they have cats and dogs and other animals, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to really appreciate these donations. I have a friend that just adopted a kitten not too long ago, and I went and played with the kittens, and they didn't have many toys. So hopefully we can help them get some more toys. So I have some examples set out. These are little pom-pom balls made out of yarn. I made them in different sizes, accidentally, but also on purpose. So I'll show you how to do that. These are little toe tossers. You can tell that these are made out of TVs. And then I made one wrong. So I'll show you what I did to make it wrong and how we're going to make it the right way. And then I sewed a little whale. And this you'll put catnip in. So if you have any catnip, we're going to put catnip in it. And we're going to learn how to sew. Okay? I know it looks bad, but I'm also learning how to sew. So don't judge my sewing skills, okay? Okay, so let's start with the yarn. Does everyone have yarn ready to go? I'm going to use yellow because yellow is my favorite color. Okay, Mr. Patrick is nodding and saying that everyone has their yarn ready. So I'm going to make a long line of yarn like this. Just getting it ready. Untangling my yarn. Okay. I'm going to take 3 fingers, like I'm counting to 3. And I'm going to wrap a little bit of yarn around these 2 fingers and put it through the 3rd, just so I can hold it in place. And I'm going to start loosely wrapping, because if you tightly wrap, you're going to make your toy too tight for you to cut later, and also you're going to cut the circulation off of your fingers, and that's not good. We want to make sure that we leave this program with the same amount of fingers we came in with, okay? So just keep wrapping. And if you think you've wrapped long enough, you haven't, so keep wrapping. Maybe even sing a song while wrapping. Any song you want, a song from Hamilton, Twinkle Twinkle, a song about Patrick rowing his boat, any song you want. I've run out of room, so I gotta keep on wrapping. Okay, my fingers are starting to turn purple, so I'm done wrapping. You guys want to see? Look how big it is. And I still can find that little piece of string that we started off with at the beginning that I stuck between my fingers. Here it is. So we're going to take all of this and slide it off. So now we've got kind of like a donut of yarn. See it? Donut of yarn. Take a little bit of extra length down at the bottom and cut it off. I'm going to kind of flatten that ball of yarn. We're going to wrap that little piece that we had at the beginning around. So we're kind of turning it into a bow. We're going to take the ending piece and we're going to wrap it as tight as we can around. So we're making it a bow. See it? Okay. Now you're going to try to tie it off. So you're going to knot it. So find any way that you can make that little end into a knot. Okay, I did that really, really tight. So everyone sees how it's kind of a bow now. Now we're gonna get our scissors out. We've got all these loops up here. So we're gonna take our scissors in and we're gonna cut the loops. And I'll do a few and then I'll show you. Do not cut the loop that ties this all together to make it a bow. So it's gonna all come apart. Okay, so did one side. And now it looks very floofy, like a pom-pom. Now you've done it to one side, do it to the other side. And if you guys have ever seen cats play with yarn, you know that any cat is going to love these pom-poms. And if you have any catnip spray, I don't know what type of catnip you guys have. If you have any catnip, this would be perfect to put catnip on, just very small amount. Just kind of tough it up a little bit, fluff it. I have one string that's a little bit longer than the others, so I'm gonna cut that. And there's my pom-pom. I might sneeze. Got a little bit of pom-pom floating around, but it's fine. So you can change the size by making a smaller loop around your fingers by only using 2 fingers. That's what I did with this one. That's really big and really long. I only used 2 fingers. And then I wrapped it on the end. I didn't turn it into a bow. So this shows less wrapping around your finger, more wrapping around your finger. So how big do you want your toy to be? Okay, so you guys can make more of those later, but I'm going to keep moving on. Is that okay? Everyone good? Mr. Patrick is looking, seeing if you're good, seeing if you're okay, seeing if you're awesome, having a great day. We all are. Okay, so moving on to the tossers. So I just took apart TP or a paper towel holder. So it's the cardboard stuff. So you're also going to need your scissors for this. Just the cardboard and the scissors. So this is the one that I made. You can see that there's space in the middle. And then I've also cut the edges. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like now. And it's like that so that they can rip and tear and just knock it over. It's just the slightest touch is going to mess around with it. And this one is made wrong, and you will see why it is made wrong later. Look at that. Just doesn't look right. Still going to donate it though, because some cat is going to love it for about 5 minutes. So we're going to take our cardboard tubes, and you take your scissors, and you're going to go into the cardboard tube and cut it. Do not go all the way. Do not go to the halfway point. We want a nice amount of cardboard in the middle to hold. So if somebody gets their paw in there, they can hold on to it. And you're going to do even lines all the way around. So you decide how thick your lines are going to be, but just make sure that they're even. Do it again on the other side. If you don't watch where your lines are, or if you go too deep in and then small on one side, deep and small, you're going to end up with something like this, where the lines are deep and then small, and they're uneven and they don't sit right, and it's just, it looks crazy. It looks like madness, right? So don't do this. Do this. Try to even out your lines as best you can, okay? I mean, either way, if you're not very good at cutting with scissors, this is great practice. If you're not good at cutting with scissors, the cats are still gonna love whatever it is that you present with them, because we all know that when you buy something expensive for your cats, they're still gonna go for something that is just plain. We've all been there, especially me. Okay, so I'll let you guys do that. Once you're done going all the way around cutting, so if you're done cutting already, you've cut all the edges, okay? So you're gonna fold them down You don't have to do it hard, just hold them down. So kind of making like a crown of sorts, I guess, if you kind of looks like a crown.
Ice cream cone.
Or an ice cream cone. Good too. Thanks. Now I want ice cream, Patrick, and you don't have ice cream to offer me. How rude. You got ice cream? Patrick has ice cream, guys. My day is so good. Okay. So we have a little toaster now. Isn't that cute? And you can color on it if you want. Just I wouldn't paint it because a cat might put it in their mouth. And no one wants to have paint in their mouth because that's just gross. Okay. So you guys can make more of those later. Okay? You can make a ton of them, bring them to the library at the drive-through, give it to us, and we will take it to the Casey Pet Center, unless you guys have a local place that you want to take it to. Okay, so you guys can make whales like I did. You can make mice, you can make fish, you can make monkeys, you can make whatever shaped animal you want. So right now, just kind of decide what you want to make. I'll just give you a moment. Whatever animal pops in your mind. I think I'm going, well, I'm using purple, so.
A zebra.
A zebra. You bet I'm gonna do zebra. Okay, we'll do zebra. Pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm making a zebra. Okay. I made eyes out of buttons. I have 2 buttons, so I'll show you how to sew on the buttons. If you know a different way to sew on the buttons, that's great. You can do it your way. You do not have to follow exactly what I'm doing. However you do it is the way that you do it, and that's what makes it awesome. I also did different sewing stitches so that we could look at those differently. So we'll go through those together. And you can see that it's fluffy, it's floofy. You can put some catnip in there so that they can bite into it, they can smell it, they can toss it, they'll love it. And then I have my stuffing over here, whatever type of stuffing you have. If you are using an old recycled sock, that's great too. We can go over that. I did not have a sock that I was willing to part with at this time, so I kept my socks, but I can show you how to do that with a sock. Okay, so I am making a zebra. So, doing a zebra. So, start cutting out a shape that you want your little creature to look like. So take the moment to just cut your first cut. If you have any cats or pets, feel free to let us know in the comments what their names are. I would love to know their names. I have 2 cats, and their names are Todd Ambrose O'Malley is the first cat, and the second cat is Aowen, just Aowen. Yes, Todd is a really fat black and white cat with a little pink nose, and Aowen is a really fat orange cat with a little pink nose. Todd is really good at cuddling, and Aowen is good at knocking things off of the table. So those are my pets. Would love to hear about yours. Ooh, okay, so it turned out to be more of a hippo. So I'm doing a hippo now. That's what you do, you just gotta improvise. Okay, so now I've got 1 piece, and just so you know, it's gonna turn out smaller than this when you sew it. So it's not gonna be this big. If you want it to be bigger, you're gonna have to cut out something bigger. So now that you've made 1 piece, you have to do another piece. Why is that? Because look, there are 2 sides. You have to do 2. So just trace around the other one that you did, or cut around the other one that you did, and go. Okay, so I've got my 2 hippo sides. So see that? 2 sides. Whoa, these eyes are gonna be huge on those hippos. Very excited, it's so much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna be using white yarn or string so that you guys can see it up against the purple. Let me know if at any time you can't see.
I'll zoom in once you get started.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I'm going to do is work on the eyes, and I'm going to use buttons. So hardest part in the entire thing is threading your needle. So if you need an adult to thread your needle, that's totally fine. So thread your needle and get a good amount of thread through it, so that way you can just leave it hanging. And I got a long amount of string. Probably didn't need that long amount of string for the eye to start off with, but got a long amount of string. Okay. So I want my eye to go right there. It's a really big eye. Very happy with it. Okay. So I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to poke through where the eye is. And I'm going to pull all of my yarn through, but I'm going to leave some at the end back here. See that? And then I'm going to go through that other hole. Try not to tangle this because it can end poorly if you do. Go back in. Okay, so now you should have one loop around the button in the front. So now we're coming back to that back and the back, a little back for a little. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie a knot back here. So we do not want it to move. I'm going to make 2 knots just in case. Make it nice and tight. And just so I don't get confused later, I'm going to cut that piece that we had at the beginning shorter. So now the eye is on, but we're going to keep sewing it on just tighter, because if a cat bites at once, we don't want the eye to fall right off. We want it to hold on a few times. So you're just going to keep going in and out. Find the hole. Be careful of your fingers. You don't want to hurt yourself. Go in. So if you go in through one hole, you're going to have to go out through the other. Okay, so now I am done. I have gone in and out, 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 in and out. So now it's really on there. You can see the back side. I'm done. I'm done sewing this eye. So I am going to put my needle through everything I've done in and out. I'm going to tie it through. I'm going to do that twice. And then I'm going to knot it. Okay, and once you're done, you can cut the thread short. And we are one step closer to having a toy for cats. The eye is on. If you only want one eye, awesome. But if you want 2, you got to do another one. So we will give you time to do another one.
While you're stitching, could you talk about the sock
The sock.
version?
Yes, I can do that. So the sock version is if you have 2 old socks, you can use them to create basically the same thing that we're doing here, where you get an old sock and you put some thinner fabric and You sew the thinner fabric into a pocket, and you put catnip in it, and then you sew it closed. And you put it in the bottom of the sock, like where your toes go. And then you put that sock into the other sock, and you, if it's a longer sock, it can't be like a no-show ankle sock or something. It needs to be a longer sock. You tie that sock off like that. And then it just bounces around. So it's like a fabric one, but it's a lot easier, less sewing you have to do. The only sewing is with the fabric that holds the catnip on the inside. Everyone done with their second eye? If you have a third eye that you're doing, you can catch up. No one has a third eye that they're doing? Oh, what animals are you guys doing? Is anyone doing any like zebra or anything? Okay. So we're going to start sewing the two pieces together, but we're going to sew them together eyeball facing eyeball. I know that sounds really weird, but put the two buttons facing each other. We are going to sew it almost completely closed, but leaving about that much not sewed. And then we're going to turn it inside out. So that way you see less of the stitching, kind of like what I did up here. I sewed this one inside out, and then I flipped it inside out from that inside out, and it's ignored inside out. So you can see the stitching a lot less. So I have the eyeballs touching inside out. So kind of line it up as evenly as you can. Mine's a little uneven, but that just comes with it. Okay, so you put your needle in through one side and out through the other. And we are going to do the same thing that we did with the eye. We're going to go back through the other side, just right next to it. Give it some space, come back in, and we are going to knot it. So that way that string does not move anywhere. I'm going to cut that extra string a little short. Okay. So now that little piece of string at the end is not going to go anywhere, hopefully. Okay. So you have two options to how you can sew this. You can do the loop around right here, which is what I did right here, where you come at it from, so I'm going to be sewing like this. I'm going to come at it from this side. And just keep coming at it from this side. So I'll do a few from that side and you guys can see. So it's going to create this look, or you can do in, out, in, out. So do you see how the difference in that? See the difference? You guys can pick which one feels more comfortable to you. I'm probably going to do in out instead of over. I don't know the technical terms for them, so in out, or over. So just go all the way around. And try not to leave too big of gaps, because if I'm coming out here and I'm going to be like, oh, I'm running out of space, I'm just going to go over here like this, like that. We've got all this space right here. where stuffing could come out. So we don't want that, okay? So try to go about that length between each one. And if you run out of string or yarn, you can always tie it in and keep going. So I might run out of string so you guys can see me do that. If you have an adult with you, I'm sure they'll know how to do that. I'm just going back and I'm hitting all the spots that I missed. Also, when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that you know you're tightening it, but you don't want to do it too tight because look what happens if you do it tight. It's bunching. We don't want that because we want it to be flat for when we turn it inside out. So if you're going inside out or if you're going over, just keep doing that all the way around, but do not go so far that the whole thing is sewn. We need about 1 inch or 1/2 inch of unsewn. So that way we can turn it inside out and stuff it. Kind of like the stuffing that happens at Build-A-Bear. We're kind of doing a Build-A-Bear for cats right now, which is the most magical sounding thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay. I ran out of string, so now I gotta make some more. Oh no, I thought I got it on the first try, but I didn't. So I have completely sewn a hippopotamus inside out, minus this inch around the booty that I did not sew. Okay, so I'm done, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm going to carefully push him inside out. It's okay to grab something to help you push out the other leg. So this is my hippo, which is the most terrifying hippo I have ever seen, but I also genuinely love him and I might name him Ralph. I've decided. Oh gosh, his head is so weird. I love it. Look at that. I love it so much. Okay, so now if you have catnip, put a little bit of catnip in there. Just shake it in, shake it up. We're gonna start stuffing it. So put a little bit of catnip, put some stuffing in, a little bit more catnip, stuffing. Kind of like a parfait. Parfait of fluff and stuff and catnip. So I don't have any catnip with me, but I will use catnip spray. And then I'll donate the toys to the Casey Pet Project. So I'm not keeping any for my cats. I'm just donating them. But if you guys want to make a ton and keep them for your cats, awesome sauce. If you want to make a ton, keep them for your cats, and then also donate, that's awesome too. I'm going to donate this hippopotamus, and they're going to be like, what is it? Take it back. Be like, no. Oh, I kind of like actually love it, though. I might actually want to keep it. Okay. So keep stuffing it. If you're like, this needs a little bit more catnip in it, put some more catnip in it. Okay, so I have completely fluffed and stuffed my little creation.
Ralph.
My little Ralph. Well, yeah.
That's what you called him.
I know his name is Ralph, but I don't know exactly what he is. Okay. So I have that little area on his bum that I need to sew close. So now you just need to sew whatever that little spot is, closed. Send us pictures of what you create. If you have anything that you want to donate, it can be pom-poms, it can be the little tossers, it can be your own little named Ralph. Or if you want to keep them, let us know. Well, you don't have to let us know if you want to keep them, but if you want to donate them, bring them to our drive-thru and we'll be happy to donate them for you. Thank you guys for joining us and have a great rest of your day.